Okay.
Okay, then he calls me, he goes, oh, I found your glasses. I said, thanks.
Yep. Okay.
Just a question. Fareed just texted me. He got pulled over on the way here.
That's fine.
So I don't
Just have him sit in the
Save the stash. Oh, that's right. I wasn't with hands.
The correct answer is it'll climb.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nobody signed up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me know when you're
I'm ready. I got everything going.
Hey, Tom, are we ready? Let me know when you're ready, Tom. You ready?
I'm ready.
Good morning, everyone. This is the Board of Trustees regular meeting 2021-4. It's February 23rd, 2021 at 9:01 a.m. We're upstairs in the Village Hall Auditorium. Dee, could you please take the roll?
President Barry.
Here.
Trustee Vorderer.
Here.
Trustee Mallow.
Here.
Trustee Stalker.
We have to vote for him to
Oh, I'm
participate.
sorry.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Trustee Olenichik.
Here.
Trustee Desmond.
Here.
Trustee Phelan.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Would everyone rise for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like a motion, please. Trustee Stalker would like to participate by telephone. We have the motion by Trustee Olenichik, seconded by Trustee Mallow. Any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Phelan.
Here.
Trustee Desmond.
Here.
Trustee
This is a yes or no vote, please. Not a-
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Vorderer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Welcome, Trustee Stalker. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Very good.
Mayor Ford.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Public comments. I'm told we have no public comments for tonight or this morning. Approval of the meeting minutes for the closed meeting minutes. 2021-02 dated January 26, 2021. May I have a motion, please, on item 5? Thank you. Trustee Mallow made that motion.
I'll second.
And second, we have Trustee Warder. Any discussion? Yes.
You skipped number 4.
Yes, I know. I was going to go back to it. Thank you.
I'll call the vote.
Yes, let's call the vote, please.
Trustee Vorderer.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Phelan.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
And we'll go back to conflict of interest disclosure. Does anyone have a conflict to disclose with any item on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 6, approval of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting minutes 2021-3, dated February 9th, 2021. May I have a motion, please, on 6? Thank you. Trustee Mallow made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Trustee Warder, any discussion? Call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorderer.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Olenichik.
Yes.
Trustee Desmond.
Yes.
Trustee Phelan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. We're going to go on to new business by village trustees. Let's start in District 1, please.
Thank you, Brad. I've known this.
Thank you. District 2, Trustee Olenichik.
I have no new business.
Thank you. District 3, Trustee Mallow.
Thank you, Mayor. The only comment I'd like to make is in regards to the snow. I'd like to help, just note that a lot of neighbors were helping neighbors get the snow removed from whether they're the sidewalk or from in front of their street to help prevent the plows from burying their driveways. So I'd just like to make a mention of the neighbors helping neighbors. And I think it's really important that we remember that at this time.
Yes,
Thank
very
you.
good. Yeah. Excellent. District 4.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to compliment our village crews for this unprecedented snow event we had. It was very difficult. But I always felt that what keeps me and what makes me want to live and serve this village is the dedication and commitment of our employees. And I'd like to make a shout out and thank them. Thank you, Mayor.
Excellent. Thank you very much. District 5, Trustee Stalker.
No new business at this time, thank you.
Thank you. District 6, Trustee Phelan.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just have one item I want to discuss, an important item that we've all been contending with, and that's the vaccination rollout for the COVID virus. And as many of us know and have heard multiple times from residents, the biggest concern they have is they can't get it, they can't find it. And this was even prior to the weather concerns that screwed up the logistics. And the big complaint that I've heard and that I share is, you know, our hospital, Christ Hospital, is a regional coordinating center. It's one of 10 in the state that was named last November, December, I believe. And my perception of that role is that they would help coordinate the rollout of the vaccine in various communities that they serve. And not suggesting that Oak Lawn would have some sort of priority, but the fact that they are in Oak Lawn would lend you to believe that we would have significant amount of assistance. And my frustration has grown to the point where we reached out, a couple of us, and then me directly to the president of the hospital, asking directly for some assistance with some locations. We've proposed some locations for vaccination centers. I know Oak Lawn High School is in discussions, Pavilion from the Park District. I engaged with representatives from District 218 High School for their administration center. And then going back 2 months or so, the village manager and I and the assistant manager talked about Automotion, the warehouse that we purchased that's behind the TJ Maxx and Home Goods. A large facility, 170,000 square feet. Jeff, do you guys know off the top of your head? Yeah. Big parking lot for a staging area. So we also proposed that location. And after seeing a news story in the Oak Lawn Patch about Joliet High School working in conjunction with the fire department out there and Silver Cross Hospital and another hospital, I can't recall the name of, how they came together and by and large through volunteer efforts from the fire department, local nurses, they were able to ramp up a vaccination center. And I made that inquiry to our hospital and effectively was told that, well, that's different, it's a different county, and any number of excuses. And I'm just frustrated beyond belief because there's also a facility being opened at 105th and Laverne, off of Laverne, the old McGugan High School, or grammar school, that many people, many residents believe Oak Lawn is working in conjunction with the hospital to provide vaccinations, and that's not the case. I probably received 20 or 30 comments or inquiries about that when I shared an update what our efforts have been to date. And this is in the midst of discussions with the hospital about our economic impact agreement that we signed several years ago, where they recognized, even prior to their massive expansion, that they do impact the village, not just in good ways. And I want to be very clear when we talk, and this is something we've talked about for several years. When we talk about the hospital, we're not talking about the doctors and the nurses who are doing that great work, okay? We as a village are talking about the high-level management, the people that make the decisions that affect us as residents, whether they be expansion, whether they be protocols. And I think it can be acknowledged unanimously that the relationship's not great. And the current president of the hospital made a representation in an email to us that it's our fault, or largely our fault. And this was in conversations with our village manager about this ongoing impact fee that they agreed to several years ago. And for those that don't understand the concept of the impact fee, we have data that we've since updated about how much time our police and fire spend there. Obviously, our fire are going to spend a lot of time there transporting patients, but it's not just that. It's significant safety issues. It's calls for fights and gang matters.
Excuse me just a second. Bud, can you mute your phone, please? We're getting a lot of random stuff coming through on the speaker. Continue, please, Trustee Phelan.
Thank you. And so prior to their expansion of the hospital, which we all acknowledged even before they laid it out was beautiful, would be impactful, would allow them to expand their patient beds by, I call it 100 maybe. Give a minute for everybody to mute their phones. So, it was a contentious affair going back a decade now, and there was a lot of pushback about this concept. We made what we thought were legitimate arguments about why it was necessary, and in the midst of these discussions, asking them for some level of relief. And again, I'm remiss in not pointing out that they don't pay property taxes. You know, they're non-for-profit, they're a tax-free status. If they paid property taxes for the footprint they have in Oak Lawn, we've estimated that it's mind-boggling, the amount of money. And that, of course, is justified from the hospital or the healthcare sector as, well, we do a lot of pro bono work for underprivileged and underinsured, which is true. And there's no doubt that our hospital serves a lot of people in communities underserved and under or not insured. So there's legitimacy there, but the economics of it, especially with the expansion and the amount of people they're bringing here, we contended as, hey, we would like some sort of economic impact. And the idea being, but for that big footprint and that space, that every time a space opens up in Oak Lawn on our commercial corridor, invariably some hospital or medical group wants it. We've changed from the tire, car, bridal, shop town that we used to be 20 years ago to basically a medical mecca, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? We have great medical service locally. Mayor here is an optometrist. We can all vouch for the fact that we don't have to go far for top-rate service. But it does impact our ability to provide services. Police, fire, plowing the streets. I don't know, Jeff, do you have any estimate of what the overtime cost alone in the last couple of weeks have been? I would surmise it's going to be significant. Right?
Yes.
So, in the context of these discussions, we learned that a hospital in Park Ridge, Lutheran General, has a similar arrangement and has had it for a long time for the exact same reasons. The impact, the otherwise economic effect that we would get if they were paying taxes, all of those things. So it wasn't a novel idea. And by the way, we discovered this years ago in the context of our discussions. So after a lot of back and forth, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that it was shortly after the election of Mayor Berry and Trustee Vorderer and the dynamic change on the then current board that they agreed to this payment. And it was for 3 years. And clearly it states in there, it's not a guarantee that it'll be ongoing, but there is the implication there that in 3 years' time, we'll re-engage with discussions. And we did that beginning last summer when it expired. And since that time, I think the president of the hospital has changed twice. And the discussions got off to what we expected they would be. Well, we're not sure. And of course, COVID was causing concerns. But more recently, it got more standoffish and put-offish and dismissive. So independent of all that, I did reach out to the president of the hospital about this COVID matter and said, can we get some assistance? I included the link to the Joliet High School story and said, is there a reason one of our high schools doesn't fit right in the same construct here? We have a top-rate fire department, expert paramedics, hundreds of nurses. Seemed to me real simple. A layup, if you will. But we didn't get that. In fact, in my inquiry, the president of the hospital responded so quickly that he inadvertently sent me an email that he meant to send to somebody internally. And in that email, he said, effectively, I need some talking points for this group. And this group he's referring to is us. Just leave that with you for a moment. I need some talking points. Not, here's how we can do it, here's why we can't do it, but talking points. And they included, in his mind, he was proposing somebody, wanted somebody else to shore up the deficiencies of his talking points. They included, well, we're not Will County, we're Cook County. Oak Lawn is too big. Something to that effect. Oak Lawn is bigger, too big. Joliet is 3 times the size of Oak Lawn. So Those who know me might suspect that I replied in a different way, but I replied professionally and respectfully, saying, I'm not sure you meant to send that to me, but I'm a little disturbed that you're looking for talking points. We're just looking for help. You know, we're looking to you, the Regional Coordinating Center, and I made that clear. I said, maybe I'm misunderstanding what the definition of that term is. One of 10 in the state. Are you not responsible to help us? Are you not getting monies from the federal government to facilitate these types of projects? And he did not respond to me. I think he responded to the mayor and others independently, apologizing for sending the email he didn't mean to send, but never did respond to me. In a separate email to the village manager about this economic impact, he made a reference when the manager pointed out that when you do this in Park Ridge, can we remind you that you do this at Lutheran General in Park Ridge, this very same construct, this economic impact. And the president of the hospital actually said, well, you're not Park Ridge. He didn't go on to explain what he meant by that, so we'll just all have to assume what he meant. Now, this is a gentleman who makes $1.2 million a year, sitting in offices at 95th and Kilbourne. Lives in a nice house in the western suburbs, along with dozens of other executives at Christ Hospital making millions of dollars. And we are simply asking for assistance. Forget the economic impact, because to probably nobody's surprise here, he replied back to my reply, or he replied to Randy, our village manager, saying, you know, I don't like the tone of that email. I'm paraphrasing. So you can forget about the discussions on the economic impact too. So as a resident, as a taxpayer, as an elected official of this town, I think it's important that everybody understands what an impact means and what we are contending with. Pension funds wildly underfunded. COVID that put a $2 million hole in our budget. Thousands of seniors scrambling to get vaccinations. Some of the emails I got were heartbreaking. My husband and I both have immunodeficiencies or comorbidities. You know, I'm not computer savvy, but I stay up till 2 in the morning because I'm told, like concert tickets, if you go on these sites late at night, like Ticketron, you have a better chance of getting a spot in Tinley Park or Robbins. Not in Oak Lawn. So that's the bad news. And it's bad. In my strong estimation, it's one of the most distasteful things I've dealt with, and it goes back a decade. So I just want everybody to understand what we as a board have to deal with and the impact it has on us. And to the extent you have understandings or relatives working at the hospital, when you hear things about this in the press, we are not talking about the doctors, the nurses, the staff that do an excellent job and make that hospital one of the best in the nation. We're talking about a bureaucracy who purport to be benevolent Christians, but who are capitalists through and through, in the worst sense of the word. And I want to go on record here and be very clear, like we were 10 years ago, that we are not asking for anything out of the ordinary. This is a $5 billion enterprise. That's their revenue. B, not M, billion. And the impact they have on our village is significant and documented. And worse, from the dollars that we're required to spend, from a manpower we're required to provide, and by worse I mean more than it was prior to their expansion. But they're enjoying the benefits of the expansion. All the money flooding in, all the COVID relief, all the patients running there. And when I say enjoying it, they're enjoying the financial impact of it. Nobody's enjoying the impact that people coming there and suffering and passing away. But the good news is, despite all of that, despite the lack of support, assistance, coordination, our efforts, largely through the village manager and assistant manager, appear to have paid off. Our aggressive efforts, and this world especially in this state, in this county, seems to be the squeaky wheel gets oiled. But we recently received word that our automotion plant is being looked upon favorably. Nothing's been inked, correct, Brian? I know you were the one leading in the last week. And that potentially, I think the number was 6,000 vaccinations a day, which is not Tinley Park Convention Center numbers, but it's pretty darn good.
It's much better than Tinley's.
Is it really?
Yes, significant. It's like
About 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
Wow. Should we start having concerts there? Well, that's even better news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only limitation, of course, will be the availability of vaccinations. And what we've been pounding the table on, I know Trustee Olenichik made this case last meeting that I didn't attend. It's not a matter of if, it's going to be when they're going to go from hardly available to over available. And if we don't have a plan and a location and logistics ready, we are going to really disserve our residents and others beyond the community if we're doing 6,000 a day. So I just wanted to compliment our staff for their dogged determination, our police and fire, our Art Clark, our emergency service person. It's just a shame that we couldn't have a better assist from a massive regional coordinating center located right here in our hometown. That's all I have today.
Madam Mayor, can I add on to that?
Sure, Trustee Olenichik.
At the advice of our staff, I contacted Commissioner John Daly. Commissioner John Daly, because the way that it works with the distribution through the county, that he is well aware of what the plans are and what we need to do, and he understands that we want to get out in front of it, so when the availability of the dosage comes up, that we will have a plan. So it seems like the county is backing it because it goes from the state to the county and then it gets distributed out. So hopefully with all the work that staff has done, and they've done a lot of work, and with the support of our other legislative bodies, we should have some good news coming up. And I just want to make a special mention that Commissioner Daly is well aware of what our needs are and what we need to do.
Thanks, Trustee Olenichik. Good point. Kelly Burke also is very enthusiastic about this, as well as Cook County Commissioner Donna Miller, who also serves part of this town. Trustee Phelan, I want to jump in on some of the things you were saying. When this pandemic started, all of us were horrified. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how bad it would be. And we rallied around our hospital. We asked them what they needed. We wanted to give them everything they could do. I personally held drives for masks and PPE. I wanted to come to the end of this pandemic feeling a true sense of partnership, a true sense of, I wanted our relationship with the hospital to be stronger. And sadly, Trustee Phelan, everything you're saying is true. We are stronger as a community if we work together. Oak Lawn is stronger if the hospital's stronger. The hospital's stronger if Oak Lawn is stronger. It comes down to being fair to each other. And when you have the largest user of village resources, basically saying, let the seniors who pay $10,000 in property taxes pay my share because, we deserve it. We do all this good stuff. Well, being a partner in a pandemic is what I define being a community partner, good stuff. We're not seeing it. When the entity came before this, in this very room, wanted to build a giant medical center in the heart of our town and said, we commit to paying property taxes. Fast forward a year later, they're like, no, we're going to change our mind on that. We have a nonprofit whose officers are making corporate wages. Nonprofit to me is what we had, when the nuns would start a hospital, when the community was underserved, when people are volunteering. This is an entity all about the bottom line. When they sat in this room and said, we're going to pay property taxes, then said no. That just set in my mind that there is no partnership here. It's really unfortunate. They have a competitive advantage against other medical buildings in town who do pay taxes. The cost is significant. You know, when we talk about how this pandemic's affected the village, Trustee Phelan, you mentioned about $2 million in sales tax loss. It doesn't stop there, Trustee. Our gaming revenue's down $200,000. Our hotel tax is down $176,000. Our ambulance fees are down $270,000. Building permits down $536,000. We have traffic tickets that are not collected, traffic fines. All of this affects revenue. Residents need to know that 3/4 of what we spend our money on is people and services. We're not buying stuff. We're employing the police, the fire, the public works personnel, and the administrative staff. Without that revenue, how are we going to continue these services? I want to applaud this board that in this situation, and our management team, all in this room, in this situation, you've been extremely creative in keeping services going. You know, to see the largest employer in this town, the largest user of village resources in this town, basically say, never mind, further discussions are off because you hurt our feelings. That's not acceptable, folks. Trustee Phelan, you said it very spot on. I could go on and on, but, you know, again, it's about being fair to each other and being, you know, community partners stronger together. Anyway, I just had to add all that. Anyone else have a comment? Okay, moving on. That was village business. We're on number 8. Randy, I can't see you back there. Any general village matters, sir?
Just a few things, Madam Mayor. I'd like to concur with everything that Trustee Phelan said as we were working closely together on this matter, trying to get Rich Heim and the hospital to come to the table and at least discuss going forward how we would approach this matter. What I would like to do now is, if Mr. Heim or anybody at the hospital is listening, is to extend an olive branch if they think we did something wrong, to come back to the table, at least open the dialogue. So we're willing to meet, we're willing to discuss, and we're willing to accept if there is a logical explanation on why. So that is my offer. Segueing now to some positive news. I too, like Trustee Border, I wanted to give kudos to our public works people. I know they've been working a lot of hours. I know the trustees have been receiving a lot of emails from some of the residents about some of the areas that have not been plowed, and I can tell you that the crews were working very, very diligently trying to make sure that the streets of Oak Lawn were passable. If you looked at what was going on in the city of Chicago, you could see that our streets are 150 times better than what those streets were in the middle of this crisis. So I want to thank all of them. The other thing I wanted to touch on a little bit is some of the residents that experienced damage during the snowfalls when the plows went by. Some of them were quite adamant that they were being targeted. I want to make sure that they understand that is not the case here. When those plows go by, they're throwing a lot of weight and they do damage things, but the village will take care of any damage that was caused by us plowing. So I wanted to make sure the residents are aware of that. So if you do have an issue, reach out to us, let us know, rather than sending an email that sometimes comes off as, that we do this on purpose. That is not the case at all. So I can tell you the crews were really trying to make sure that everything was passable. And in fact, we had to help the trash company because they couldn't get through some of the alleys to get to the garbage. So again, thanks Jeff, and thank the guys, and thank everybody at the PD and the fire department and everybody in the village who's been working through all this and getting the job done. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you very much. We're going to move on to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine and have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. 9A is ordinance 2104-20, an ordinance designating an honorary street name, Ronnie Colissimo Way on Colin Avenue from 95th Street to 96th Street. B, Resolution 210409, a resolution appointing members of the Village of Oak Lawn Electrical Commission. C is requested the Board of Trustees. approval and direction to the Board of the Fire and Police Commission to promote 1 lieutenant and 1 engineer due to retirement. D is the appointment of Robert Cruz to the Architectural Review and Preservation Commission to fill the unexpired terms of James Jamie Pembroke.
Motion approved.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve by trustee Mallow. Any discussion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second was, I'm sorry, I didn't see who that was. Trustee Oliniechek, thank you. And thank you, any discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Trustee Border.
I would like to pull A and D.
A like Apple, D like David?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Let's call the vote on that, except for item A and D like David.
Trustee Vorderer?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. 9A is ordinance 210420, an ordinance designating an honorary street name, Ronnie Colosimo Way on Colin Avenue from 95th Street to 96th Street. May I have a motion on 9A, please?
Motion approved, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Border made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. That was trustee Phelan. Any discussion here? Trustee
Yes.
Border.
Yes, Mayor. I just would like to introduce Ronnie Colosimo. Ronnie Colosimo owns the Oak Lawn Toyota dealership for more than 40 years here in Oak Lawn, a very successful dealership which provides many, many dollars in revenue to our city. Not only that, Ronnie is been very involved in many of our charitable programs in the village, and certainly on his birthday, deserving of this honor. So I support it strongly.
Very good. Thank you. Any other discussion? Yeah, I'd like to congratulate them as well, and let's call that vote, please.
He's outside the door.
Is he outside the
Inside.
door?
Is that him?
It's a surprise, so.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Oh,
Okay, would
okay.
the family like to come and say anything? When is his birthday? Are we going to blow the surprise?
No, his birthday is in April, but, so we just celebrated
Can you
our.
come to the microphone and then
Sorry.
state your name, please, for the minutes?
Hi, my name is Victoria Hampton. I'm Ronnie Colosimo's daughter. We just celebrated our 50th anniversary here, so we are so excited. We wanted to surprise him with something special, and this is the most special thing we could think of, and so he's going to be absolutely shocked and floored with the support of everybody here, so
Thank you.
thank you all so much.
Yeah. And you think of Oak Lawn building up around the past 50 years, and he's been there, true blue all the way. And as you said, Trustee Border, always there for our charities, our kids who ask for donations, and a lot of worthwhile causes he's supported. So, very good.
Yes, one thing, if and when these signs are ready, and that would probably be after this weather breaks and the snow goes, if you'd like to set a time and a date, we can do a little ceremony and maybe record the event. You can reach out to the village manager or myself, and we can coordinate that with you and Ronnie.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Anything else you want to add? Okay, we're going to call the vote then.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Vorderer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to the One Toyota family as well.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Item, let's see, 9D like David, appointment of Robert Cruz to the Architectural Review and Preservation Commission to fill the unexpired terms of James Pembroke. May I have a motion on 9D?
Motion approved.
Trustee Border made that motion. Do I have a second? Trustee Phelan is our second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. This is my appointment from the 4th District to fill this vacancy, and Bob is here in the audience today.
Bob,
I'd
would
like
you
to
like to come
introduce
to the
him. Bob,
microphone and just
is
say
there anything you'd
hello?
like to say?
Sure. Hello. This is a little too high. I'm short. Hi. Thank you for Mr. Border for nominating me. I look forward to working with everybody, hopefully, and I just want to say thank you.
And I'm sure you'll do a good job for the village of Oak Lawn.
I guess I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorderer?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 10 is Resolution 2104-10. Resolution approving an agreement between the Village of Oak Lawn and Brian Hannigan. May I have a motion on 10, please?
Motion to approve, Mayor.
Trustee Warder made that motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Phelan. I'm going to give it to Trustee Stalker. I'm sorry, Trustee Phelan. You guys came in at the same time. Any discussion? Oh,
Mayor, I just want to give a little background on this. I don't know if the
yes, Randy.
As everybody knows, Brian Hannigan has decided to move on, unfortunately. He does have another job, I'm told. I know he is going to work with us. He's technically using vacation time till April 2nd, I believe, so he's available if we need him for anything like that, but he's also agreed to be available by phone up until January 1 of next year. To assist us with a smooth transition. I want to thank him personally for all he did to help get us through COVID and some of the other things through the village that he was a part of. So I just wanted to make sure everybody had a little background on that and why I'm recommending that we approve this ordinance.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Let's call a vote, please.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, Village Clerk's Report. Dee?
Okay, approval of semi-monthly disbursements number 2021-04D dated February 23rd, 2021 in the amount of $1,788,599.59.
Thank you. May I have a motion on 11A, please?
Motion to pay the bills.
Thank you, Trustee Warder. Any second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Phelan. Any discussion? Let's call the vote, please.
Trustee Warderer?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Any general village matters, Dee?
No, thank you.
Okay, very good.
No, thank you.
You're doing a good job.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you. Village President's Report, Item 12. Item 12A is a request to approve the liquor licensing and review commission's referral for a Class F like Frank, restaurant, beer, and wine only, and a Class N like Nancy, outdoor service area, liquor licenses. This was a 5-0 vote to approve. Rosati's Pizza at 6230 West 95th Street is the petitioner in District 1. May I have a motion on 12A, please?
Makes a motion to approve.
Thank you. Trustee Desmond made that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Trustee Warder. And any discussion? We do have the petitioner here, I believe. And I hear you've had a little bit of an adventure coming down. Glad you made it. Take a deep breath and let's, Tom, can we get that microphone over there for him? Thank you. Okay, very good. So this was the old Blaze Pizza location, correct?
Yes.
So
Yeah, I do have a couple of questions, actually.
Trustee Desmond.
I'm looking this is your promotional package that you're presenting us?
This is, we're planning to have a game machine.
Can you please state your name in the microphone just for the minutes of the meeting, please?
My name is Farid Khwaja, and
Thank
I'm
you.
the president of the.
Thank you.
Well, my question is, are you opening a pizza restaurant or are you opening a gaming cafe?
It is a pizza restaurant.
I mean, there's one page here with a picture of pizza, and we got 6 pages of gaming information.
So this is just one pamphlet. We already submit the 98.
We're not approving a gaming cafe, we're approving a pizza restaurant.
We already submit our 98.
I understand that, but where are your menus? We gotta,
So Trustee Desmond, it is a full menu online.
I'm just
And I'm
curious.
sorry
why-
it wasn't
why
part of
we're
the
getting
packet.
promotions for a gaming cafe. when
Yeah,
we're
and the petitioner
approving a
is not
restaurant.
applying for gaming license at this time. He would like
Okay.
to do so in the
I
future.
understand that. But why are we presented here with 6 pages of information on gaming?
We were,
I believe that you are hoping to put in gaming eventually, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, I hope the next time, you would give us some information on your restaurant.
So let's, he took the time to drive here. Let's go ahead and can you tell us about Rosati's Pizza?
So Rosati is a very known franchise pizza in Chicagoland. We are very famous with the deep dish, and we have full menu for Rosati's. We do all kind of wings, different kind of pizzas, breadsticks, and everything. It's a full dine-in and carry-out delivery restaurant.
Thank you.
Mayor?
Trustee Warder.
Yeah, Trustee Desmond, I attended the Liquor Commission hearings because I have grave concerns too about extending these gaming licenses to fast food restaurants. I think we had 2 meetings on this and I did visit the site. I have great reservations, but in fairness to the owner here, he agreed, to open his restaurant, and we would have the opportunity to see exactly what he's going to do there before we give him the license that would give him the right to gaming. So we will have the option in the future to deny that license if we feel that this is a fast food rather than a restaurant operation. I'm a little concerned about the size of this restaurant. Certainly fits into the fast food category, but I'm willing to give this man a chance. He's made a major investment in that store. Again, I stopped and visited it. There's a lot of money being put into it, and I did a little research on the concept, this Rosati's Pizza. They have a number of locations, and apparently they serve a very good product. So I think we have to keep an open mind and give the chance to bring a new business, and we'll always have the option to deny it.
I agree 100%, and I was, Rosati's is a great brand. When I heard they were coming in, I said, that's great. They're a well-known restaurant. I'm just curious as to why the emphasis on something. I would just say,
We are not just
we want restaurants here.
So we are not just coming for a game. It is full restaurant, and it's not like we signed the lease for like 2-3 years. We signed a lease for 5 and 2 5-year options.
I understand that. This is just a little confusing as to you're coming in to open a pizza restaurant, and that all the information you provide to the board here is about gaming.
So previously we did provide everything for Rosati's, like our menus,
and that's what we love Rosati's. No problem at all with Rosati's.
Yeah.
Great brand, great restaurant. You didn't need any of the other, you didn't need the other stuff.
So the reason we asked for the gaming because of COVID, it's all the restaurants are struggling. So we were like, it will help us a little bit, to cover the cost and all.
I'm not against that at all. You have a restaurant, and the gaming. If you want some place for people to play games, I'm just curious as to why you would think this was the way to go to promote your restaurant.
Madam Mayor,
Trustee Phelan.
if I could, I share Tim's curiosity. I guess, what better question or additional question is, there's a major gaming terminal owner in here that's referenced by name throughout the document. I mean, and I don't profess to know all the laws, but you are going to own this operation 100% on your own.
Yes.
Not partnering with a gaming operator.
No, it's 100%.
And I think that's what Trustee Desmond's concern is. Their name's on this as much as Rosati's name is on it, which is a little confusing to us.
So I'm really sorry about this pamphlet, but this is a Rosati's restaurant. It's mainly, it's 100% owned by me, and I have a family who's going to run this restaurant.
Okay.
So again, I just want to clarify for the board, the applicant is not applying for a gaming license. They're applying for a liquor license. What the difference is our classification system. So nothing can prevent him from, in the future, from saying, we really want the gaming, we're struggling, we want the same advantage other businesses in town have. But the Liquor Advisory Commission said, you know, our policy is that you should be an independent restaurant first and stand on your own 2 feet with that. And so that's what they're coming before this board as. So, you know, with respect to the gaming company, whose name is throughout here and others like them, they do market to potential businesses and promise them a lot. And, you know, this, you know, was this prepared by them?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're not your friend. They're not helping you with this. And, you know, they're in litigation with this board, excuse me, with this village. They're, you know, not helping you. So show us an amazing restaurant. Show us all you can do. Rosati's, as we said, is a great brand. That's what we want to see. We want to see family values in this community.
You will see that
And-
in there, and
I just get one final point on this,
Yes.
and then I'm done. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying here now. I'm not against it. That was my vote in the Liquor Commission. I said, hey, if you want gaming in your restaurant, by all means. I mean, if that's part of doing business in Oakland, I have no problem with you doing gaming. I would allow you to have gaming right now as part of your restaurant. But your restaurant cannot be part of the gaming cafe. And that's what this looks like.
I'm really sorry, but next time, you know, this was first time, so.
Okay, so
No,
I wish you the best of luck.
They come to these hardworking people who work by the sweat of their brow, you know, a generational investment they're making in our town, and promise all this stuff, and you know, they just kind of plug something in the wall and take all the money out of this community. They're not really helping us. They're not really adding value. So you're adding value. You're investing. You're working hard. You're who we want to listen to, and frankly, you're who we want to see successful. So, yes. Yes, Dave.
One other point, just in regards to I've been to Blaze Pizza, and I know they have a very tiny amount of seating. It is kind of a fast food type of pizza place, like Trustee Border had said. And I guess are we building this already? There's notes here that proposed gaming has not been accepted and approved by the village board. Required circuits shall be set aside in panels for the future. So when you're building this restaurant, are you already building this location with an ATM and spots for gaming to be?
So right now, there are chairs, in the future, we were planning to move some chairs. I mean, there is a space.
So that area won't be set up for dining at this point?
I mean, there will be at least 24 seating areas.
And this also has a large outdoor dining area, which they're really hoping to maximize as well. But you're not building out anything for gaming
No,
until
not right
you have
now,
an
not at this
approval.
point.
Okay, that was the question. Okay. The other discussion at the Liquor Advisory meeting was the type of build-out they're doing inside. They are changing the interior quite a bit. We're assured it will have a different kind of vibe inside. They're going to be putting TVs throughout. And, you know, I just want to reiterate before the vote that, you know, this is right on the path from our high school. Kids come there after school, and it's got to really, if you're going to be part of this community, you got to be very friendly to our teenage kids coming after school, our families. So, you know, as you do the decor, we really want high school kids to feel like they have a spot there. And the gaming, again, it's not being asked for today, but think about that with your image. So, okay, any other discussion? Okay, let's call the vote. This is on item 12A.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Olenichek?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Vorderer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 12B, ordinance 210421, an ordinance increasing the number of Class F like Frank liquor licenses and Class N like Nancy liquor licenses that can be issued in the village. This is for Rosati's Pizza at 6230 West 95th Street, North Pond. We have a motion on 12B, please.
I make the motion to approve.
Trustee Desmond made that motion. Do we have a second? Trustee Phelan, any discussion? Let's call that vote, please.
Trustee Vorderer?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And before you go, can you tell us about Rosati's and tell us what your vision is and just kind of, a lot of people at home watch these meetings. When will you open and what are you trying to do there?
So we are planning to open next month. We are just, because of the COVID and because of this heavy snow, the equipment we ordered got delayed. So hopefully, maybe second week of March, we will open and we will do a grand opening where we will invite the whole village plus village trustee to come and visit. And it will be a family place where, you know, as you said, there will be a lot of students from high school will come walk in. There will be their lunch area. Plus, we will do help to our community, talk to the school if they need any sponsorship and everything. We will be there for them.
Very good. And we look forward to seeing the menu online. What is the website?
It is myrosatis.com.
How do you spell Rosati's?
Rosatis.
Thank you. myrosatis.com.
Yes.
Check what's coming to Oakland. That sounds pretty good. And good luck with you,
Thank you so
to
much.
you and
Thank
your
you,
family.
everyone.
Thank you very much. Under general village matters, I think I said enough. Item 13, executive session 2021-04 for the purpose of discussing, number one, approval of closed meeting minutes 2021-03 dated February 9th, 2021, and two, the setting of a price for the sale or lease of property owned by the public body, and three, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body. May I have a motion on 13, please?
Motion approved.
Thank you. Trustee Warder made that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm going to give it to Trustee Desmond. Thank you. Any discussion, gentlemen? Let's call a vote, please.
Trustee Warder?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Desmond?
Yes.
Trustee Phelan?
Yes.
President Barry? No, not on that one.
not-
Sorry.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go into executive session. The time is 9:52 a.m. We're going to clear the room, and thank you, everyone.
Probably